Welcome back to the Far More Than a Podcast series, 10 Minutes of Greatness, where we'll be dropping episodes 31 days straight on how to be great, on how to conquer the mind, on how to push to limits to where you become far more. So far, we have went over speaking on forgiveness, how to focus on the bigger picture, how to defeat worry, focusing on internal over external things, how to remain patient. And today, for episode 6, we're going to learn how to fail. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go. So, first, we want to examine failure and actually know what the definition of failure is. Failure is pretty much just the state or condition of not meeting a desirable or intended objective. So when you set out for a goal and you're reaching for this goal and you don't reach it, that's considered failure. But really, is it? Because every time I've noticed in my life that every time I've set out to accomplish a goal and I didn't reach it, it prepared me for what's to come next, especially when I gave my all to it. That's why today I want to talk about learning how to fail, because in all reality, the world paints this big picture of failure as it's just you losing out on the opportunity to reach your goals. And although failing does mean you didn't reach your goals, it doesn't mean that it's the end step towards your goals. In all reality, learning how to fail is a part of the process. Everybody who's tried to shoot for greatness has failed. If you look at Jordan, he didn't make his high school team. That's failure. If you look at Bean Bryant, he didn't reach the pinnacle he wanted to as soon as he came into the league. But at the end of the day, he reached and he kept trying over and over and over again until he became one of the greatest players we've ever seen to touch a basketball. If you look at really most successful people, they failed a lot. In the last episode, I talked about how I failed for 5 years straight before I got it right. But the moment I got it right, I had the ability to reach my dreams. Okay, so let's just go learning how to fail. So step 1 to learning how to fail, because this is 10 minutes of greatness and we is keeping this thing 10 minutes. I've been doing a good job lately. But each one of these, I just want to get right into it. We already heard the backstories. We already know that it's so many people that's explaining to you guys this, but I want to explain to you guys actually how to be great. Let's learn how to fail today. Step 1, accepting that failure is a part of the process. You have to understand that failing is a part of the process, because once you understand that, when you fail and when you fall down on your face, you will be like, okay, this is a part of it. Let's get back up. Let's learn what I need to do to fix this. Step 2, not making the same mistake twice. You can't make the same mistake twice. If you fail doing it this way, if you try to fail doing it that way again, then that's what's considered a fool. Because a fool does the same thing over and over and over again and expects different results. I know we've heard that. So step 2 is not making the same mistake twice. So say you did something one way and it doesn't work. You may even do it again and it doesn't work, but don't keep repeating that process of doing something the same and not working. Tweak a little bit. Tweak what didn't work, keep what did work, and move forward. Okay, step 3, doubling down through failure. Whatever you failed at, get back up and go harder. This is one of the most important parts. When you fall down on your face, don't stay down. Get back up and go even harder towards your goals. Because when you get back up and go harder towards your goals, that's what's going to propel you forward to destiny. It's not just getting back up, it's getting back up and going deeper. Sometimes it requires us to go deeper. Sometimes we prayed for something so big that it requires us to go into the deepest parts of the sea to get it. The deepest parts of the sea to get it. The best things are found in the deep. Your relationships grow in the deep. Your relationship doesn't grow when everything is steady. Your relationships grow when things are going up and down, when things take a deep dive. That's when you find your realest friends. That's when you find God. That's when you find so many things. It's hard to find God. It's hard to find real people when you're sitting at the top. Ask any successful person. It's hard to find those real cool friends and those real people who are going to be down for you when you're already sitting at the top. You find those people. You find the creator when you're down in the depths. Good things happen down there. Don't miss out. Only thing you got to do is get up and double down. Say, you know what? I'm going to go even harder. I'm going to go even faster. I'm going to do even more to get to where I go when you double down. And not only that, it's a sign that you will not quit. Not only to your adversary, but to yourself. You know, you guys got to think we're battling ourselves too. We're battling ourselves 100% of the time. If you're being honest, we're battling our mindsets. We're battling our conditions. We're battling our decisions. So when you tell your mind, I don't care what this result looks like, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to go even harder, it conditions your mind to be great. See, a lot of people want to be great, but they don't understand it starts up here. It starts between the ears. Greatness starts between the ears, and that's what we're trying to build up here. Okay, God says the righteous fall and get back up. So he didn't call someone who never fails righteous. You're only considered righteous once you get back up from failure. So I just want you guys to remember that here, because I feel like we have a false reality or false perception on what righteousness means and what God sees as worthy. God sees you falling on your face. But when you get back up and you double down and you go harder, that's what's considered righteous. The righteous fall down and get back up. It never said that the righteous is the people who's always standing up. No, the righteous are the ones who fall down and get back up. Step 4, remember your why. Remember your purpose. Remember exactly why you chose to do what you're doing, because I feel like that gets lost through failure. We say, oh, we want to go to the NFL. We want to go to the NBA. We want to be a lawyer. We want to be a doctor. We want to be a teacher. But when setbacks and trials and tribulations come and we get punched in the face by life, we stop wanting to be those things. That desire to have it starts to fade away. But we can't be people like that. We got to understand that that desire and that passion that God put into us, we got to dig into that. We got to reach into that bag when failure comes. We can't push that bag away. We got to remember that. You see, a coach, he told me, when you're mad, when you're upset, when you're angry, remember that feeling and keep it. Because when you're upset, when you're angry, when you're motivated, it's easy to feel motivated and be like, yeah, I'm going to get to it. But what happens when you're not? Motivation fades, but discipline stays. So what happens when you're not motivated to go get it? Who are you? Who will you be? That's the question you have to ask yourself. But through all this, through all the setbacks, through all the failures, through all the remembrance, the most important thing you got to remember is your why. Because if you don't remember your why and it starts to fade away, when the failures and all those things come, you're going to start to think, why am I even doing this? Okay, step 5, last step of the day. Embrace every part of the mission. I've been listening to a lot of people who have success lately, and they say that this part is the most fun part. You see, right now, even on this podcast, we're only getting 10 views. We're only getting 5 views. We're only getting this amount of views. And right now, I'm trying to focus on the process over the product results, I should say. I'm trying to focus on the process. I'm trying to focus on getting in front of a camera every single day, recording, speaking publicly, or I won't even say this is kind of publicly, but over a phone, speaking to a screen. I'm trying to embrace this part of the mission, because once this part of the mission is gone and we're off to new levels and we're off to new heights, you're going to miss this part. You're going to miss where you were grinding and it was only one person. You're going to miss when you were grinding and it was only a few people, a handful of people. You're going to miss these things. So embrace them, because every step of the process teaches you what you need when you're at the mountaintop. So don't try to just cruise by the bottom portion, and when you're on the mountaintop, just be like, okay, I'm here, because guess what? You're going to fall right back down. But if you embrace, if you acknowledge, if you accept every single part of the mission, of the process, as you're rising, as you're climbing, when you get to the mountaintop, you're going to be more appreciative. You're going to be more accepting of the fact that, yes, we put in the work to get here. And most importantly, you're going to understand that it took you becoming far more in your mind to get there. And you're going to be able to preach it to other people. Because being far more is not about you. Being far more is being far more than you. I love y'all.